Throughout history, those who achieve greatness don't just work hard. They dare to demand more from life. Arnold Schwarzenegger once grew up in a small Austrian town with a father who was a strict police officer. Yet young Arnold dared to dream of Hollywood stardom and political power, and he achieved both. Jim Carrey, growing up in a tiny trailer with his family, wrote himself a $10 million check long before he earned it, keeping it as a symbol of the life he would claim. Howard Schultz, raised in public housing in Brooklyn, refused to accept a life of mediocrity and went on to turn Starbucks into a global empire. These stories all share a simple truth. Life responds to the standards you set for yourself. In a quiet part of the city, there lived a man named Ethan. He had nothing, no home, no money, barely enough food to survive. Most days he wandered the streets, relying on the kindness of strangers. Yet deep inside, a tiny spark whispered, "I want more. I deserve more." One afternoon, as the sun hung low over an empty street, a renowned speaker and investor named Ray walked slowly along the pavement. His life was one of wealth and influence, luxury cars, a beautiful home, endless opportunities. Ray noticed Ethan sitting near a lamppost, hand outstretched. Almost instinctively, Ethan asked for a coin. Ray stopped and looked at him. "A single cent?" he asked. Ethan nodded eagerly. "Yes, just 1 cent. That's all I need. It could change my life." Ray smiled knowingly. Without hesitation, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a large stack of bills, the exact kind of money most would think a beggar could only dream of. And then, with deliberate care, he handed Ethan exactly 1 cent. Ethan took the coin, his eyes flicking nervously between the single penny and the pile of cash Ray had just revealed. A strange thought formed in his mind. Why not more? He has so much, yet he gave me only this 1 cent. Is this a test or a lesson? Ray's words cut through the silence. Life will give you exactly what you ask for. Nothing more, nothing less. If you ask for a penny is all you will receive. If you dare to ask for abundance, then abundance will come. That night, Ethan replayed the moment over and over. The penny in his hand felt heavier than any coin he had ever held. It was more than metal. It was a symbol of a standard he had never dared to set for himself. He realized that the poverty around him wasn't just about money. It was about his belief in what he could claim from life. From that day forward, Ethan began small. He found odd jobs around the city, earning enough to buy simple necessities, but he refused to stop at just enough. Every small success built his confidence, and slowly, his standards of living began to rise. He moved from temporary rooms to a small apartment, from public transport to a modest car. With each new step, Ethan asked for more about life, investing in his knowledge of business and finance. He studied markets, learned negotiation, and gradually started making small investments. Months turned into years, and those careful, incremental steps compounded into real wealth. His home grew larger, his business more prosperous, and he achieved the financial freedom he had once thought impossible. Years later, at an exclusive investment conference, Ethan found himself standing in front of Ray. The speaker had just finished a talk about the power of daring to demand more. Ethan approached him with a confident smile. "Ray," he said, "do you remember the day you gave me 1 cent?" Ray looked at him, surprised, then nodded. "I do." "And look at you now," Ethan held out his hand, now as a successful entrepreneur and investor, equal to the man who had once taught him this crucial lesson. "I asked for more," Ethan said quietly, "and I built the life I once only dreamed of." That 1 cent changed everything. Ray smiled. "You understood the secret. Life responds to the standards you set for yourself." Ethan nodded, looking around at the world he'd earned. If I had only asked for a penny is all I would have ever had. But I dared to ask for abundance, and now I live it every day. The lesson is, life doesn't reward hesitation. Life doesn't give more than what you ask for. If you want a life of abundance, financial freedom, comfort, happiness, you must dare to set your standards high and then take action to reach them. A single cent can teach a lifetime lesson, but it's the courage to ask for more that changes destiny. If you like this story, give it a thumbs up, comment below on what you learned, and share it to inspire others. See you in the next story.